What is up, y'all? Hey there, DMs. It's your boy. I feel like Saru on Star Trek Discovery right now. I'm trying to figure what my hook is, my intro is. You know, everybody's got their brand. He's looking for his command word, you know, for like make it so, or engage, or let's hit it, or execute, which did not go over too well. You know, so I'm still looking for my intro right now. I still like, you know, hey there, DMs, but might be a little cheesy. Anyhow, how you guys doing today? I am doing all right. This is Greg, DM Greg, back with Mastermind Adventures, back for the second ever episode of Behind the DM Screen, as I take you behind the Dungeon Master screen into my preparation process for the Shackled City, the brutes in the Shackled City Adventure Path. This has been a really, really, really fun time with a lot of really good friends so far. Last stream went 3 hours. Unfortunately, I don't have 3 hours today. I'm starting this a little bit later. Here's just kind of all over the place. I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, self-conscious and vain. Perfect combination right there. Perfect combination. Anyhow, like I was saying, I don't exactly have 3 hours to broadcast today in prep, but I did at least want to jump on here for about an hour or so and show you guys what I'm working on. Thankfully, I don't have to do so much hard work grinding doing my prep this week, because I prepped 3 encounters for the Brute Squad last week, and they only got through one of them. So I have at least 2 encounters ahead of them. But the interesting thing is that they took that first encounter, that was the elevator fight with the Hobgoblin Captain and the Hobgoblin Legionnaires, and you know, that was a good 2-hour battle last week. I mean, you could check that out, and it was pretty brutal. Like, you know, Blake and I cooked up some really, really rough stuff for them, and you know, I'm proud of how it went. I feel like that it went really well. I felt like it was just vicious enough to really kind of mess with everybody. And you know, the funny thing was that started out where, you know, elevator door opens and wham, one guy gets shot down, like, you know, on a hail of arrows. And then, you know, the captain already gets wounded and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is going to be, this is going to be a milk run. This is a curb stomping. You know, my guys are just going to be a damn speed bump. And then somebody decided to charge into the elevator by themselves, thinking backup was coming, and backup did not come. And that person did not happen to be someone with a high AC or a lot of hit points. And then, of course, the paladin gets stuck in there trying to save them. And, you know, sometimes combat encounters can fall apart real quick because of player decisions. I'm not blaming these players at all for anything that happened. I think that they played everything perfectly well in character. I thought it all made sense. And honestly, so much of it was just the rolls of the dice. So much of it was just what the dice dictated. Who won the strength checks to keep the elevator door open, how timing worked out. And this was a pretty complicated fight, because not only am I dealing with, you know, 5 NPC monsters, I'm dealing with 2 NPCs with the party, 7 adventurers, so 9 versus 5. And then I also had to contend with the door, which was a heavy object that would open and close on a rail. And then also the fact that, you know, half of the combat space that they were fighting in was an elevator that was in the process of going up and down, and the elevator was in varying states of, you know, whether it was going up or down, and the timing on all of that to make for more dramatic tension. So this was not an easy encounter to run, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. I'm proud of how it turned out. I'm glad to see the brutes made it through. Even though they did almost snatch defeat from the jaws of victory in the first 20 minutes. You know, but this is now today we got to follow that up. And this encounter prompted them to sit back, stop, and think for a minute about how best to handle the rest of this dungeon crawl, starting with tonight. Instead of just going down there, instead of the brutes just being the brutes and going down and brutalizing everything in sight, they're realizing that I'm not giving them nearly as many opportunities to short rest or long rest as they probably need. even though we are doing critical role rules with 10-minute short rests. And they're talking about espionage this time. And that's cool. I like the fact that I've got them thinking. I like the fact that I've got them doing things that are not hallmarks for them. I think that's incredibly important, that I've got them outside of their comfort zone and doing something a little different. They're rethinking their strategies, realizing that they can't literally just bash their way in the front door here. I got somebody watching. Hello there. Hello there in TV land on YouTube. Yay, YouTube. Blake, is that you? My chat window is not functional right now. Oh, yay. Oh, Blake did text me. He said he's watching right now. So, hey, Blake, how you doing, buddy? I just got your message. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am just pulling up the chat here in my phone, since unfortunately it seems like it does not want to work on my desktop. I'm also hoping that stupid Face ID. It's scary. It's scary that sometimes my Face ID recognizes me with sunglasses on. It's not supposed to do that. That's a terrifying thing. Oh yeah, gotta do the caption. Damn it! Why do I make this? Well, because people try to break into your stuff. That's why. Yeah, I had a moment yesterday where I got a text message or a text alert saying, yes, someone is trying to break into your Gmail. And I was like, oh God. And then I looked and I saw that it was my spam account. And it was, oh, okay then. It was very much that meme, but still, like, people try to mess with your stuff. You got to protect it. So two-factor authentication it is. What a wonderful world it would be if I could live in a world where two-factor authentication was not necessary. I'm just saying. Here we go. Anyhow, that's my thoughts on that. Yeah, so how's everybody's weekend? Holler at me. If you're watching this, holler at me in the chat. Let me know how you're doing. I am hanging in, last couple of days before Christmas. My shopping is done, thankfully. No, I got to get one person. Oh, I got to get one thing for one person. But my shopping is basically done. I've got the most important thing is that I got my wife her gifts, and they're all starting to show up. So I've got to start getting them wrapped, and I suck at wrapping. So this is going to be entertaining at the very least. Maybe I'll stream that. I don't know. I enjoy streaming. I enjoy just kind of sitting here talking to myself extempore, acting like I'm doing something important and hoping someone's going to stumble upon this. And, maybe when the aliens come and assimilate our technology and us, they'll look at this and go, wow, this was something special. No. Anyway. So, yes, Brute Squad. They wound up taking a prisoner, very unbrute-like. No, that's not true. The brutes have been known to take prisoners when necessary. But they started interrogating this poor guy. They should have kept the captain alive. They did not keep the captain alive. They kept the grunt alive. If they kept the captain alive, they would have gotten a lot better information. But the grunt did not know much. And that was rather frustrating for the brutes, because they wound up trying to torture him using a rather unique form of psychological torture. I really did not know how I felt about that as a DM. But the poor guy got a measure of revenge as he bit Graysol's finger off, because yeah, dude, you're gonna do that, you're gonna pay the price. It was pretty funny, and I enjoyed how the scene played out. And it's just, you want to talk about an attack of opportunity when somebody's got their fingers all up in your face. Sometimes you're just a hobgoblin, you got to bite their finger off. So, they'll think twice. I think, going forward before going in and trying to taunt and torture a character. I mean, I think I can't stop the brutes from torturing, but I can stop them from taunting and torturing. They're going to be stupid about it. Anyhow, let us get into this, because this guy, because they were asking this poor schmuck about what was in the dungeon, and he didn't know because I didn't have that data firsthand. I did not have that data handy. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Blake. Yeah, I thought that was a little stroke of brilliance. Got to make Matt pay for being cocky. Yeah, I've heard from a few folks who have watched that clip, and they said that it was pretty funny. And I did not fudge the die rolls on that at all. No, it was all totally 100% legitimately rolled. I'm telling you. Anyhow, I am pulling up right now. I have my copy of Shackled City that I'm going to go over with you, but because just sitting here listening to me rant is not necessarily a entertaining thing, I also happen to have a digital copy of Dungeon 97. There are small differences. But sometimes it helps to know what those differences are, because you can get inspired by them. I also happen to own Dungeon 97, and I say that me showing you particular portions of this magazine, a scan of this magazine, is fair use because it's education and commentary. So don't at me. I recognize that this material is copyright Wizards of the Coast, copyright Paizo Publishing. I am using it as a fair use exemption, sharing it on the stream for the purpose of education and commentary. So, and it's not like I'm making it available digitally to people. You know, I'm just sharing what is the stuff that is salient to the stream. Let's see. Let's get to where we are here. There's the vanishing. There's the map for tonight. Man, oh man. And by the way, the 5th edition makes the vanishing pretty gnarly. If you just go rules as written, because the 3 spells that you could use to cure it aren't available. Only 2 of them are not available in 5th edition. Only 1 of them is. So that makes things a little tricky. Yeah, I know this is scintillating. You're just literally watching me look at my screen right now. But hold on one second. I promise I'm getting to the good stuff. Malachite Fortress. Bingo. Chasmogen's Bazaar. The Bazaar from Life's Bazaar. All right. So let's talk about this. No, I don't like that alignment. What did I do with all my... What did it do with all my fancy... Okay. Sometimes you just got to figure things out as you go, and that's okay. Give me a second here. Yeah, we'll do that. Well, this is kind of annoying. Okay. I'm missing all of my fancy on-camera screen mixes. Okay. Well, I don't want to refresh this right now, because if I refresh this, I'm going to lose the stream. And if I lose the stream, well, that's just going to be a mess. So that's no fun for anybody. Anyhow, we're just going to get right back to this. So, Chasmogen's Bazaar. I've already updated the doors, which is great. The map. Bum, bum, bum. By the way, players, any of my players, don't watch this right now. It's all the spoilers. All the spoilers. So, the hobgoblins were coming up the elevator shaft, which is located right over here. This is M1 right here. This is where the elevator shaft is. Doesn't look like an elevator shaft, but it's totally fine. I've kind of changed the layout here where the control room is not the controls are not in the control room off to the side, but in the elevator itself, because it made for more drama as they were fighting over the elevator controls. I'll have to get some more soda when I go out. I need a cold one for tonight. All right. So, getting back to this. M2 here is the secret control room. There's a similar one upstairs that the party missed. The only things in there are the control levers. So, yeah, no big loss there if they missed that. But M3, which is the door they come out to, this is where the stone spike lives. And the stone spike is that creature that we put up and converted to 5th edition last week, which is now sitting in D&D Beyond. Yeah, and by the way, check the video description today for a link to our very own custom 5th edition stone spike. My campaigns, my characters, my homebrew collection. There we go. Yeah. So the stone spike is here because of the fact that we're dealing with it's going to be a brute squad that's probably back up to full strength. So that's 8 players plus 3 NPCs, minus the donkey. They left the donkey upstairs this time, I think. We are dealing with a party that is going to be pretty high up. You know, even if they're down a lot of power, they are still dangerous. They're down a lot of spell slots. I know that they're feeling the crunch right now. It's a suitable level of tension that I like keeping them under, because 5th edition is really, really, really good at keeping you healthy and stocked in power. And I want my players feeling uncomfortable. I want them feeling like there is risk. I want them to feel like there's a threat. And the best way to do that is to deprive them of as much of their resources as possible. Although, because the elevator fight was far more brutal than I expected it to be, I wound up giving them a bunch of healing potions that were not in the mod, mostly because I also want them to be able to survive the fight. So yes, anyhow, the next encounter that they're going to have is not 1, but 2 of these stone spikes that we updated to 5th. This could potentially be a messy fight. The thing is, these guys, they're vulnerable to bludgeoning, which means that Brick is just going to have a field day. No piercing. That means that my more roguish types are going to have a hard time. Can't be hurt by poison. Whole bunch of conditions that they can't be hurt by. And, you know, they're basically intelligent elementals, and they're sitting right here in M3. Now, there's a secret door that takes to a secret door that takes to a secret door. God damn, Chris Perkins, did you have to build a secret door in every room? Because it's not even like a railroad. And then there's one obvious door within this room, besides the elevator shaft, and that is M4 here. Now, what these guys don't know is that they're basically coming in the back door, the side entrance. They're coming in a side entrance because the main entrance to the fortress is here. M6 from the bridge, from the cavern that goes into the Underdark. So they're coming in a side entrance. They don't know that. They think they're coming in the front door. That's going to be a really fun realization for them when they realize that, oh, okay, there's an element of surprise here that they might not be aware that they have, because one of the things that they're talking about doing for coming in is subterfuge and disguising themselves as potential buyers for the slave market. Yeah, they don't know what's in store for them, and they don't have a map to this place, and they don't have any other resources. So they're gonna have to figure it out as they go along. So, but you know, if we're talking about, you know, them interrogate, and that means they're going to be interrogating people and asking lots of questions. So that means it's important for me to know who, you know, exactly what is in this place, and who, you know, what they are and how many of them there are. So we're just going to go through room by room real quick. M1 has the party and a whole bunch of bodies right now. M2 is completely empty. M3, I'm calling this my body count list. M3, Stone Spike, there's 2. M4 is an interesting encounter. I would like to analyze this encounter in greater depth at some point. Originally, it was written that they encounter an ogre in a room full of trash and filth. The ogre, though, isn't an ogre. It's an Otyug. Somebody please help me pronounce that. An Otyug that has been polymorphed by a polymorph any object trap into an ogre. So it has the intelligence of an Otyug, but looks like an ogre, and it doesn't have, and it's wielding a weapon in 3rd edition 3.5 that it doesn't have the proficiency for, so it's got -4 to its swings. I mean, I love the flavor, but that feels mechanically needlessly complicated, unnecessarily complicated. And this is also, this level of this dungeon is also supposed to be for level 2 adventurers, and the party is level 3. So screw it. This is Adam. This is for you. This is specifically for you because you keep complaining that you're only level 2. You're only level 3. You want to be level 3 so bad. That's great. You're gonna fight yourself a level 3 encounter right now. You guys are gonna fight Natyug if you wind up in this room, and that's gonna be really dangerous for anybody who's a scout. Because an Natyug, if you don't know, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, by the way. But for those of you who don't know anything about them, they are almost like lampreys or lanternfish, where they have just like they put out like a telepathic feeler and they reel in prey, and then they come up like the trash compactor monsters and get and get you, and that's how you get got. And that is no good. Look at how this is lagging. You're killing me, Smalls. Yeah, why is everything lagging so hard? Oh, it's because I forgot to turn off all of my other apps and everything that I normally turn off before. Okay, well, you know, it is what it is. I did not do my full prep today before the stream, and I'm paying for it right now. So that happens. All right, like that. Yeah. Coming down into here. I hope we get Moss at one point. I would really love to have Veronica join us. This is also the wrong window. This is not the one that I was looking for. Not the droids that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the counter builder, not the campaign. Yeah. All right, loading. Please wait. I have this image in my head that when you die and you get to the afterlife, whatever you may believe your afterlife is, you are presented with a set of statistics, and those statistics include how many times you took a breath or how many times your heart beat. I feel like that for those of us who have lived through the advent of technology, one of the things that we're going to be presented with is a statistic of how much time we've wasted waiting for fucking browser windows to load. And I think I'm going to look at that stat and I'm going to weep. Yeah. Anyway. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, this is not going to be a hard encounter for the brutes, I don't think. Especially, like, we should have Katha and Fario back. So that means we're going to have 11 level 3 PCs running around in this group. Dear God, that is a disgustingly huge party. So Natyug is not a difficult challenge. I feel like they're going to burn right through this thing's 114 hit points, especially with only an AC of 14. But here's the thing. Limited telepathy. Simple messages and images to any creature within 120 feet that can understand its language. Form of telepathy doesn't allow the receiving creature to telepathically respond. Multi-attack, 3 attacks, 1 bite, 2 tentacles. The bite is nasty. That's painful right there. 2d8 plus 3 with a +6 to hit. That's going to fuck some shit up, man. That's going to happen. That's going to land, and that's going to hurt. Target as creature must succeed on a DC 15 con save against disease or become poisoned until the disease is cured. Every 24 hours that elapse, the target must repeat the saving throw, reducing to its hit points by maximum by 5 on a failure. Woo! Well, the good news is that the brutes can probably handle disease real quick. They've got a couple of folks with medicine. Disease is cured on a success. Target dies if the disease reduces the hit point maximum to 0. Reduction in the target's hit point maximum lasts until the disease is cured, and then it just elasticizes back. Tentacle. Day of the Tentacle. We're getting all Cthulhu up on this. +6 to hit, 10-foot reach, 1 target, D8 plus 3, bludgeoning damage, +4 woo! So 2d8 plus 3 piercing damage. Bludgeoning and piercing. Okay. Target is medium or small, is grappled and restrained until the grapple ends. Otyugh has 2 tentacles, each of which can grapple 1 target. So it's just going to go thump, thump, arm. Okay, cool. Tentacle slam. Slams creature grappled by it into each other or solid surface. Each creature, it pulls a Hulk and Loki. Each creature must succeed on a DC 14 con save or take 10 bludgeoning damage to be stunned until the end of the Otyugh's next turn. On a successful save, target takes half the bludgeoning damage and is not stunned. Okay, that is brutal. This will be, and especially because of the fact that it lives in a very small space. This is a 40 by 1. It's not that 40 by 120 room. If they get the drop on this thing, they're gonna burn through it real quick, I think. But if they don't, or if they go in only a couple at a time, they're gonna get stomped. I can run this where it's gonna stomp them. I don't want to stomp them, but I believe that sometimes if you make a bad plan, or if you just charge right in, or you just jump into an elevator and let a door close behind you, and that elevator happens to be full of enemies, and you think that you can, as a rogue, you could take on 5 heavily armed hobgoblins, armed and armored hobgoblins by yourself. I mean, sometimes you're just going to get stomped, dude. That happens. Sorry, Nate. Yeah. As Nate put it, I thought you guys were right behind me. Poor guy. When I watched him do that, and I was just like, oh, here we go. It went from, oh, this is going to be the brutes just curb stomping a bunch of punks, to I'm killing a PC. This is going to be our first PC death. And they managed to fix it and pull it out real quick, but not without our paladin getting rocked 3 separate times, getting dropped to 0 hit points in the middle of the fight. But they kept healing him so fast that he didn't even have time to hit the floor. Poor guy. Yeah, you want to talk about rough. Anyhow. So yeah, Zukassis the Otyugh lives in M4. M5, this L-shaped corridor here, no creatures. M6 has 4 hobgoblins. And depending on the level of party, depending on how big the party is coming in, I'm probably going to make it 6 plus a captain. Yeah. Yeah, because, this has got to be a challenge. And this time they won't have the elevator. They'll have a little bit of a terrain advantage. Oh, did I lock up? Oh, no, I'm back now. Okay. Yeah, I'm watching myself going like, what the hell? Okay. So we're going to copy this one. And boom. Okay. And now let's pop this up. Okay, so 6 hobgoblins, or 4 hobgoblins and a captain is an average encounter. This is a hard encounter. All right. And the worst comes to worse, these guys can have more healing potions on them if things get really nasty. But that's a hard encounter. Okay, I can justify that. This also depends on how bad the Otyugh thrashes them. If it thrashes them or if they thrash it. You know, it's going to be a challenge either way. Just to strike this balance just right. Oh, and there's also... Well, okay, well, this is interesting. Hold on. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Okay, so this is fun. In here, it says 4 hobgoblins. In the description in the hardcover, it says 4 hobgoblins in the text, but in the stats in the monster listing, it says 2 hobgoblins. So I'm calling it 6. I think that's fair. That's DM math for you. Yes, and this is where the massive chains is hiding. This there is a trap in here. I mean, it functionally is a trap, but this animated massive chains. And this only attacks if specific conditions are met, but we do have to keep that in mind. This might be a situation where they think they've got the fight won and they go and do something stupid, and then the next thing you know, they're in another fight. That happens. Okay. The stone bridge outside, 30 feet below, pool of water. They fall in. I'm going to have to reread a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, Underdark. Okay. Yeah, and that's 8 over here. Let's keep this going. Guard barracks. M9. Over here. Here's the barracks. Pair of 4 hobgoblins. And once again, it says it in the text, there's 4. Says it in the monster notification, or in the monster notations that it's 2. That's a copy paste error, yo. 9, 4 hobgoblins, as my buddy Ben would put it. First sign of trouble. Oh, and the giant fire beetles. M10 is Casmogen's quarters. Great. That's important. Yep, there's some important stuff in there, but Casmogen is not located in that place. Oh, and then the next room is this. If they find this, this is a secret vault of treasure. If they find this, this is where the mimic that's a dick. The mimic is not shaped like a dick. The mimic just happens to be a jerk. Is hiding out. The one that Bob the mimic from upstairs mentioned that to them. Apparently, he's not shaped like a chest. And there's also a spectral dagger trap. And then M12. That'll be fun. That is that's a secret room that only exists to be a pit trap. Okay. Damn, Perkins, you just got a hard on for hitting your players with traps. I mean, I respect the trap hustle, but man, that's rough. That's pretty savage. All right. The Arch Bridge. Oh, this is outside here. This is M13, the Arch Bridge. That goes from where the prisoners are all kept to the auction room. Oh, yes. And then down here, I mean, the bit works so well. The last time with the illusory walls that they're repeating it again with automatons, and these automatons happen to be fully functional as opposed to the ones that only worked on a roll of 10 or higher. Okay, so yep, I'll have those guys ready. Then we have the prisoners. Now we're getting into the areas where they got prisoners hiding. And that's important to know because some of these prisoners are in really bad shape. Some of them are not. Some of them are willing to fight. Most of them are not. And some of them are willing to fight and are in no shape to fight. So there's going to be a lot of schizophrenia. I'm hoping that my players will be smart enough to turn around and be like, hey, guys, let's send these prisoners back up to the surface and escape with the NPCs, so we can just have it be a more traditional party and narrative structure for a little bit. Because, dear God, Greg needs to stop talking to himself. That would be nice. I'm just saying that would be nice. Sliding blocks. Ah, yes, the sliding blocks that actually block the doors. That's important to note. Okay, empty cell block. This one is completely empty. Nobody's in here. This one is also completely empty. Wow, so they go through all the trouble of having these, and then they don't have anybody hiding in there. I suppose it's where you get to stick the players if you wind up capturing them. But then we have... Wow. So they have the prisoners hidden off in a secret hidden wing. All right. All right, so if we come over here to M20, there are 2 hobgoblins. And M21. Ah. And then M21 over here, they have, oh, this is a torture scene, so that'll be fun. 21, 2. Okay, now Zarkad is a male hobgoblin warrior who seems to be a little beefed up. Let's see what this big boy looks like. Who's a big beefy boy? Oh yeah, okay. So he's just like a hobgoblin captain on steroids. All right, I can have that updated very quickly. Here, I thought I was worried that there was a whole bunch of special abilities and crap, and there are not, thankfully. But let's get down here where everybody is. Yeah, right here. Zarkad, male hobgoblin warrior. Basically, they gave the hobgoblin monster a couple of player levels or NPC class levels because warrior wasn't even a, like, it was Diet Coke fighter. And look at these. He's just like, okay. So he's just meant to be a beefier version. All right, so M22 the Main Hall. Let's go show you guys what we're talking about here. M21, M22. This is the main hall right here. Obviously, there are traps outlined. M22. M23 are guest quarters. They are currently empty except for giant fire beetle each. And of course, the fire beetles are actually being used as light sources. So okay. So then we have, now we're getting into the complicated stuff where we have Pilrak, Shirat. 25. He is not in there, but lemurs. 2 lemurs. What do lemurs look like in 5th edition? Ah, perfect. They do have them statted up already. That's great. AC 7. Wow. Okay, they're devils, basically. Cute. Little fluffy devils. And then M26 here is the main barracks. M26. And the thing is, M26 will go and assist. And if there's a sound of a fight, the guys from M26 are going to run and help out M22. Okay, that's an important note to know, because you always got to know where your reinforcements are coming from. M27 is the forge, and there are some prisoners in here that people will be excited to find, including Maple, who I know that Wookiee's been looking for. And there's 4 more hobgoblins in there. Hobgoblins and hostages. We're not playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight, guys. We're playing hobgoblins and hostages. So, yeah. 3 goblins, too. Oh, and then there's this secret area right here, M28. That has a lot of treasure in it. A lot of stuff I might have to... Well, nothing magical. Nothing magical, so it just needs to be converted quickly, but nothing that I can't handle. All right. Okay. What else am I looking at here? The pantry, kitchen. The pantry is M32. Dining hall. Nobody's in there. Nobody's in here. M31 is the larder. Nothing there. Cook's quarters, nothing there. M33 is the kitchen. And, oh, this will be a fun roleplay encounter if they actually find this, because there's another prisoner down there. Tree. And Griffin Malik is hiding there. Okay, good to know. Now, it'll be interesting if they're making a lot of noise in M27. Will reinforcements come? Because that's another 6. That's 7 monsters in here, plus potentially another 6 pouring in from over here. Yeah, this could get gnarly. This could get gnarly real quick. They could wind up clearing out half the dungeon in a fight, or they could wind up encountering half of the dungeon in a single battle. And part of me feels like I should almost throw the kitchen sink at them. But then again, these hobgoblins have an AC of 18, and we all saw last week how hard that was to hit. So, you know, but I almost feel like the faster they can clear this out, the better. Dining hall. Already looked at that. Kitchen. And then, of course, is the final encounter, M34. That's the final fight right here. That is going to get gnarly, because they received a prophecy in the first session that has basically narrated the whole adventure for them. And one of the final lines was, half a dwarf binds them, but not for long. And what everybody's always puzzling over, what is half a dwarf? Well, this is a half dwarf, half fiend. Casmogen is a half dwarf, half fiend. So that's a templated creature. They don't do templates in 5th edition. So I have to cook up what he's going to look like in 5th edition. Probably big, muscular, red-skinned. And wait, is he half a fiend or half troll? Half troll, not half fiend. Half fiend is the Durzagon. Pilrak Shirat. Yeah, dwarf troll mix. That's going to be interesting. And then, yeah, so M34 is the slave auction with the kids and a couple of other folks. And of course, there is a, I don't like the fact that this ends in a Deus Ex Machina, but it is a gigantic plot hook for the rest of the adventure, introducing the big bad evil guy. But hey, Blake, give me something that we could do to spice up the cameo in the final battle. We got to think about that. I don't think they're going to make it there today. I think they'll be lucky if they make it out of the Northeast Quadrant, especially if they're going to be really cautious. So I don't want to be too cocky, though. I'm going to prep another room or two. But yeah, this is going to be nuts. So I will build the encounters here in D&D Beyond real quick. That's not going to take me much time. And I will convert the animated mass of chains. But yeah, let's just make a note here real quick. First off, M33, I forgot to note the NPCs in here. Or the M27, rather. Because there's a couple. And M34 being the boss fight with the kids, that's going to be a really... Yeah. So, figuring all this stuff out, I got to sit and read the tactics on the fight, because here's the other thing. They want to come in and pretend to be attendees for the slave auction. So depending on how they handle that, they might actually manage to get away with this. Although they're coming in wearing plate armor from hobgoblins that they murdered, that they straight up murked, dude. So I'm not going to count on this going in their favor. They might not be able to get that ploy off if they come in wearing the armor of the party that just went upstairs. You know, that might not go over well. Yeah, but there's a good chance that they'll be able to role play their way all the way into the final encounter, and then when the violence breaks out, they could bring the whole dungeon down upon them, because that's going to be 2, 4, 8, and then 12, 15. That'd be at least 12 hobgoblins that they got to fight, plus a half troll, half dwarf. And possibly the Durzagon too, so that's going to get ugly. Okay. Yeah, if they roleplay their way through, they could wind up facing everybody at once if they play it wrong. If they wind up facing everything piecemeal, then who knows what the final encounter is going to look like, because that auction is not going off if people know that guards are getting picked off left and right. But I get the feeling that maybe roleplay was probably going to get them where they want to go the fastest. So I need to be prepared for that. I need to be prepared for the notion that perhaps they wind up talking their way in, bluffing their way in. So it's good to know that this is what is waiting for them. Stone spikes. Yeah, forget those guys because they're just in their own little world. Animated massive chains. There's a trap. It's really just how many hobgoblins are in any given area and how quickly they can respond if there's a problem. So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. This is what they're potentially going to fight tonight. Who knows? But let me also tab out these guys because let's take them over here. Mostly because these are NPCs. They're prisoners, not. Now, this is a much more accurate. I have 2 hammer automatons and a partridge in a pear tree. All right. Yeah. So, yes, as a DM, your dungeon should be living organic places. As things change, as situations change, your forces should move around. I'm going to be paying very close attention to how the brutes invade this dungeon today, because these forces, I mean, the giant fire beetles are fixtures, really, but they only attack if they get out. But I'm going to be paying very close attention to what everybody does and how they handle particular situations, because that's going to determine how forces get allocated. Because I don't think that there should just be only one room where a whole bunch of add-ons come from. If these guys recognize that they're under attack and that they're being picked off, or if part of the fortress is being invaded, then the second that one of those horns gets heard, and this is where the hunting horns that Blake talks about, where the other party hated them so much, this is where that comes in handy, because with one bad fight, they could bring the whole damn fortress down upon them. And that'll be fun. It's just going to be wave after wave after wave after wave. So the smart thing they can do is role play it out. But then again, if they role play it out, they might not be able to get everybody else out of there, because they've got to save the 4 kids, of course, and the 4 kids are in M34. But then they've also got other characters that they've been looking for, like Maple. They've heard about Corsten Pike. I think I mentioned Corsten Pike to them earlier. I know for a fact they mentioned that they know Griffin Malik, because Griffin was working at one of the taverns. Made a big deal out of him at one point because he's in the rumor mill. Yeah. So this is good. This is good prep. Every DM needs to go through their dungeon and know what exists where ahead of time, because you will be reallocating forces as time goes. So with that, I'm actually going to cut the stream off here in a minute, because I've got some other errands I have to run before finishing my prep tonight. But hey, real quick, I had a wonderful session on Friday night of Jailbreak. First time I've ever gotten a chance to run that. We had a lot of fun with it. Right now, you can book me for Jailbreak, or you can book me for the Bard Brigade Solves Mysteries. If you go to mastermindadventures.com, you could use the code FREE1SHOT at checkout to book either of those sessions right now for free. I recommend you do that. I've gotten a lot of really wonderful reaction to these adventures, and I'm really glad that people have been digging them. I'll even show you, because I've gotten some lovely feedback. Hoping nobody's posted like a 1-star review since then. But I've had some lovely reactions to the work that I've done here. People are digging the adventures that I've come up with. I'm also working on, I'm planning on running Adventurers League modules very shortly, starting that. And I am working on a West Marches campaign. I'm planning on launching that in the new year. Yeah. Oh, I've got 10 outstanding reviews now. Let me share this with you. And 3 of them are from my players from Friday night. So I'm I'm thrilled. I'm honestly just like touched. But remarkable storytelling, 5-star. Look at all that. Wonderful DM, 5 stars. Great GM and improviser, 5 stars. And this is from my game from Friday night. So I'm just so grateful to have such a great table of people. We had a lot of fun. We had an oversized table for Jailbreak. It got a little complicated, but I'm glad that everybody was patient and stuck with it. I had a lot of fun. I think they had a lot of fun too. So yeah, book me for Jailbreak, book me for Bard Brigade. Also, coming up very shortly, this New Year's Eve, as a matter of fact, we have a big event coming up. I'm writing some of the encounters for this, and I'm going to be one of the DMs working the event. I don't know if I'm going to be running a table or not. We don't quite know how this is going to work yet, but we have a major New Year's event happening. It's called the Final Countdown. It is a 4-table 24 PC epic. It's going to be live streamed as a fundraiser for Extra Life. You can sign up to play. You can either basically purchase a seat with a donation Extra Life, or you can agree to fundraise and join our fundraising team. Our goal is $3,000, benefiting Hasbro Providence Children's Hospital. This is going to be an off-the-chain event. Basically, there's a giant asteroid coming to destroy the Forgotten Realms on Midwinter's Eve, and you have to get on board a damn Spelljammer to save the world. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun with this. Yeah, I hope you will join us for the final count. Like I said, I'm gonna be working on this with a bunch of other folks. Got a great team making it happen. I wrote the copy here. I'm very proud of that. And you get to play a 10th level PC. Please check this out. Please join us. And please join me tonight as we run the Shackled City tonight with the Brutes. They don't know what they're in for. I know what they're in for. Now you know what they're in for. This is going to be a very interesting night tonight, I think, because if they change up their tactics, I don't know quite how I'm going to respond yet, but this will be exciting. This will be entertaining. This is why I love DMing, is because you never know just how your players are going to surprise you. I didn't think Lorenzo was going to go diving into an elevator full of bad guys, but hey, look what happened. Sometimes just opportunities fall into your lap. So yes, please join us supporting Extra Life. What a wonderful cause. Please join us for any of the adventures that we have running right now. There's tons of them. You could book me for Bard Brigade or for Jailbreak, but there are tons of other one-shots, not just with me, but with the other DMs here at Mastermind. They are all running, with special offers right now too. So it's a veritable smorgasbord. And there are discounts on limited campaigns. Like I'm running Ravenloft, the original I6 Ravenloft, updated to 5th edition, 4 to 6 week campaign with me. Or, like my West Marches game, which I'm working on developing, or the, look at all these other things. These are some pretty awesome setups here. Dragon Heist, Storms of Fortune, lots of different things. Look at these offers. 25% off weekly subscriptions for 3-hour games. Lots of good stuff. Take advantage of our Magic Mistletoe promotion. I did not name it that, but I think it's cute. But yeah, the Magic Mistletoe promotion right here. And yeah, these are all the adventures that are up right now, with more to come. So yes. Anyhow, it's Christmas week. I hope you are having a happy holiday season, and I hope you have a safe holiday season. Please be safe. Please wear a mask. Please wash your hands. Please be smart. My entire life has been upended by this thing, and I haven't even caught it. But let's try and make sure we're back to normal as fast as possible in 2021, and we can only do that if we all work together. Because it's real, it's dangerous, and it's screwing people's lives up real hard. And it would be great to not have that happen anymore. So yeah, please wash your hands, be well, happy holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, whatever you believe, whatever you celebrate. I hope you have a good one. And like I said, tonight, 7 o'clock Pacific, so less than 5 hours from now, the Brute Squad is going to try and be the Stealth Squad. We'll see. All right, y'all. I will catch y'all later.